Once upon a time, in the ancient and beautiful land of Nyumbani, there lived a noble prince named Amani, a man of great wisdom, royal blood, and unshakable integrity. Prince Amani was the first son of King Tembo, ruler of Nyumbani, and heir to the sacred throne, but unlike many princes before him, Amani had made a decision early in life. Born into a polygamous royal home, Amani knew pain. He had watched his mother cry in silence, he had seen brothers raised as enemies, he had tasted the bitterness of favoritism, so he made a vow: if I ever marry, I will marry only one woman. I will raise my children in peace. And so he did. He married Jamila, a woman of grace, wisdom, and loyalty. She stood by him during his trials. She was his peace, his home. But time, as always, brings change. King Tembo, the ruler of Nyumbani, passed away. The throne mourned, the people wept. According to tradition, the next king had to be a direct male descendant of the royal bloodline. All fingers pointed to Amani. The elders gathered, and with one voice, they said, Prince Amani shall be our king, but on one condition. He must take a second wife. Why? Because Jamila, his beloved wife, had given him only daughters, and the kingdom feared, if Amani dies without a male heir, the throne will be handed over to the people of Pwani Mbali, Nyumbani's longtime rivals. The elders warned, the legacy of Nyumbani must not fall into foreign hands. Amani stood in silence. He remembered his vow, he remembered his childhood, he looked into Jamila's tear-filled eyes. He said, I will not take another wife. But the pressure grew stronger each day. Elders came in numbers, kinsmen threatened, the throne was at stake. Amani resisted. Until one night, he walked into the palace, eyes heavy, heart broken, and said, if this is what I must do for Nyumbani, then I will do it. And so, against his will, he married a second wife, Tajiri. Tajiri was young, beautiful, and ambitious. She came from a wealthy family and was handpicked by the council. Jamila, broken and betrayed, moved to the far side of the palace. Her light dimmed, her words grew few. Amani watched, and though he wore a crown, he no longer smiled. Months passed, then one morning, Tajiri came running with joy in her voice, my king, I am with child. The palace celebrated, the elders danced. Finally, a male heir could be born, but 2 months later, Jamila fell ill. The palace doctor examined her. He turned to Amani and said, your first wife is also pregnant. Amani was stunned. Time moved quickly, fast. Tajiri gave birth to a baby girl, a beautiful child, but not the male heir everyone had waited for. 2 months later, in the silence of night, Jamila screamed in labor. Hours passed. The midwives ran back and forth, and when it was all over, Jamila delivered not one, but 2 healthy baby boys, twins. Amani cried like a child. Jamila smiled for the first time in months, but Amani's joy was mixed with deep regret. The elders rejoiced, the kingdom was secured, the royal lineage would continue, but Amani couldn't forget that he had broken his vow, that he had wounded the woman who stood by him when he had nothing, and all because he gave in to pressure. Weeks later, Amani gathered the elders. He stood before them and said, I obeyed the voice of the people, but I ignored the cry of my own soul. Today, I name my sons, Baraka and Tumeni, as heirs to the throne. And I honor Queen Jamila as the mother of kings, the woman who waited and won. He turned to Tajiri and said, "You are queen too. But let this be a lesson to us all, never push a man to break a vow born from pain." The kingdom of Nyumbani rejoiced, the family was united, Amani ruled with wisdom. Years later, his sons ruled side by side, two brothers born of one mother, leading Nyumbani into a golden age. A vow broken brought a kingdom peace, but a lesson was written in the hearts of all. In life, pressure will come from family, from society, from tradition, but remember this: it is you who will live with the consequence, and only you will carry the weight. This is the story of Amani of Nyumbani, the prince who chose peace, but paid the price of pressure.